This morning, we're heading off on a last-minute trip to Palm Springs. First stop was to drop Lacey off with her new best friend Prince, and look how freaking cute they are playing together. As always, I warned both the kids that they needed to use the restroom before we left the house because I didn't want to make any stops, and of course they had to use the restroom an hour into the drive. We were already running pretty late because it took me several hours to pack everything up and get the house clean so we would have a clean house to come back to, but we finally made it to Palm Springs, and of course, as always, I was on empty, so I had to fill up real quick before finally making our last stop to meet my best friend Shelly. We were actually planning to stay at her house for the weekend, but she got this last minute opportunity to stay at this Airbnb and invited us along with her, and it could not have been more perfect timing. Shelly and I were actually roommates in college and have been best friends ever since. This girl has been there for me through it all, and the first thing she handed me was a margarita, and let me tell you, it was a strong one. I don't drink very often, so it really only took me a few sips to forget that I had so much packing left to do back home. To be totally honest, I haven't even started packing, but between the move and everything else, I feel like my brain isn't even fully functioning right now. It's been about 6 months since I last saw my best friend Shelly, and let me tell you, she knew exactly what to do to lift my spirits and get me out of my funk. We had a lot of catching up to do, but it was so nice to see her and catch up with everything. By this point, it was dinner time and the kids were feeling pretty hungry, so I popped some pizzas into the oven while we all played in the playroom until the pizzas were ready. This trip could not have come at a more perfect time, and I'm so grateful for friends who show up for my kids in so many different ways. Once the kiddos filled their bellies, we got ready for bedtime and headed straight upstairs. If you're a parent, you already know how incredibly hard it is to get your kids to sleep, and so I don't know why, but we all thought it was a smart idea to let all the kids sleep in the bunk beds. You could immediately see the regret in all of our faces, but honestly, we're on vacation and we thought we'd give it a shot anyway. We tucked the youngest kiddos into bed and crossed our fingers that it would go well, but no promises. I allowed Mason to stay up a little longer than the other kiddos because I know he needed that extra quality time, and it was so worth it. After about an hour and a half of battling the kids to go to sleep, we actually ended up separating them into different bedrooms, and they finally went to bed. We spent the rest of the night in the hot tub and finished our drinks before heading to bed. Love you guys, and thanks for being here.